Welcome to Red Carpet Celebrity Lanes in Milwaukee for the 38th consecutive year of TMJ4's Bowling with the Champs. Good morning once again. We're Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Here we are with our second show of the year. I'm Hank Stoddard. With me is Jeff Riggles, the color commentator out of Madison, former champion on the show. And as you're probably aware by now, we have 4 bowlers who will compete this morning in a stepladder format. They are determined by qualifying with the 2 low-score bowlers who made the show meeting and then going so on up the line until we emerge with 1 winner. And our 4 bowlers are out on the lanes in front of 69 and 70 at Red Carpet. And we're going to introduce them to you now. Our 4th seed this morning comes from Oshkosh. Jerry Bratz of Oshkosh will take on in game number 1 Ron Scheucher of Greenfield, who's making his 3rd consecutive appearance on the show. The winner goes on into game 2 to take on Phil Smith from Schaumburg, Illinois. And the eventual winner takes on our top-seeded player today, Mark Kleismith from Stevens Point, who shot the best in the 8 games, final games of qualifying. That's why he only has to win 1 game to advance. And last week, Jeff, on the show, we had 3 left-handers out of 4. Not the situation this week.
No, we've got 4 right-handers today, and all 4 of the guys look like they had some sort of shot, some contrast. A couple guys going real straight with harder equipment, and a couple guys hooking it up quite a bit with softer equipment. So a little contrast to check out today.
And I assume we don't know yet which style the lanes will favor.
Well, they all seem to be hitting the pocket pretty good. I think it's going to come down to who can make the best shots under the pressure and the lights and handle the adjustments, and probably come right down to the carry, actually, at the end.
We'll find out which ones carry when we come back with game number 1.
Bowling with...
Almost ready to go. Game number 1. Our stepladder format here this morning. Bowlers from Oshkosh and Greenfield in action. But first, we show you Carl Muncho, who's our official scorekeeper and statistician and arbitrator of any problems here today. Carl taking over from George Vales, who's off in Las Vegas. Jerry Bratz of Oshkosh against Ron Scheucher of Greenfield in game number 1. That's Ron, the one on the right side of your screen, the young man with the mustache. Been on our show for 3 consecutive years now. First time for Jerry Bratz of Oshkosh. We're on lanes 69 and 70, as usual. And Ron had his choice because he had the higher score in the final round of qualifying as to which lane he wanted to finish on. And it would appear he picked 69 to finish on, since Jerry Bratz is starting on that lane. And obviously then we'll finish on 70. Crosses over, and real approach is a low approach.
And that's Jerry's corner person there. That's Steve Nadoni. Hope I pronounced that right. And Jerry's fiancée, Jamie, right next to Steve there.
Jamie Hartle. Here's Ron Scheucher, a style that's become familiar to us with his appearances in the Champs, and he's had a lot of strikes.
And that's Dave Marlowe. That's Ron's corner person.
I believe Dave qualified for the show this year. I think he's coming up later. And a spare. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I was thinking of David Knacker, maybe.
Yeah, Dave Knacker.
Yeah.
He's one of the top seeds coming up. 7th week.
Dave Marlowe.
Got a real contrast here in the way they're attacking things. Ron Scheucher throwing the big hook, swinging it quite a bit. And Jerry Bratz told me, he said he had a little trouble, didn't have any swing area in the last round of qualifying, so he wanted to use this hard, shiny ball and go as straight as he could today.
Well, he gets 8 of them. I believe that 8 pins in the back. And there we have Jerry's dad and his sister sitting there, the 2 in the back row, so to speak. Ron Scheucher looking for a double. And he has it.
And you can see the difference there. Ron got the ball wide and got it back for a light mixer. Jerry got the ball wide, didn't quite make it back, leaves the 2-8.
Scheucher with his supporters with a bunch of signs. That was huge. One of them says, good spare conversion. Last week on the show, we saw that missed 2 or 3 times. Well, it should give him a little confidence. He needs a little when your opponent opens up with a couple of strikes. You don't want to have an open
Yeah, definitely the advantage, at least through these first 3 frames, you'd have to give it to Ron just on the fact that he's been here twice and Jerry hasn't. I think if Jerry can get by the first half a game here and be close and get relaxed, he'll be in good shape.
Jerry gets down real low there.
Yeah, it looks like a Marshall Holman or a Danny Wiseman type.
Stays close to the lane.
Well,
and there's Jerry's fiance. That was Jamie Hartle right behind her. Jerry's mother watching the action here today. And Ron Scheucher's got a bunch of family here as well. We'll try to keep them straight, not get somebody married off or engaged to somebody that they really aren't. Flying a little high.
That's a good break. He's going to be happy to just leave the 4-pin there because that ball was high.
And that's Ron's lady, Mary Jane. That's his fiance. His brother, Ron's brother Scott, is here as well this morning.
And we'll see the full approach. Another guy, a little bit like Marshall Holmes, starts the ball kind of low. Look at how low square he is, and look at that wrist turn. Cups that wrist, and
whoa, hooked that one right past in front of the 4-pin.
As soon as he let it go, he turned away. He knew he missed that. Not just a bad shot.
So things have changed dramatically here after 2 strikes. An open now for Ron. And you have Jerry there after 2 spares with a strike up in the 3rd. So the lead is in danger of changing. Looking for a double, Jerry Bratz from Oshkosh, Bagash.
Looks pretty good. Didn't carry. Pretty much the same hit as Ron. Not quite as high. 4-pin. Not much of a danger of a split there. Jerry wasn't as high as Ron was. See if he can cover the spare Ron went by. Way out there. A little too wide that time. Got a break. Didn't leave the 210 split. Just a nice, easy 2-pin. Should be easy.
Or the 2-8 railroad. The 8 was a little late going down, too. Well, he makes that 4-pin spare on 70. There he got. Ron Scheucher can get the 2-pin. He did. He left that one out a little bit, but it came in after missing the 4 where he pulled it in front of it.
Now watch the way Jerry starts here. Very interesting to stay. I assume it's to stay loose. He kind of is jiggling his wrist. Well, we didn't really get the chance to see that, but look at how low that ball is as it goes through it. Look at that deep knee bend.
You almost think he's going to drag it up the lane when he brings it back. Yeah.
That's real good for projecting the ball out in the lane to be low with that deep knee bend. Gives you leverage, and you can see he really gets it down the lane nicely.
Well, he got a working ball there. Pins were moving around, took them all out. His fiance likes that.
Jerry's biggest problem, I would assume, from looking at his style, is when the lanes hook a lot, he probably can't generate a lot of ball speed with that short, low approach. He's got a smooth release.
Well, he has a 1-pin lead at the moment. Oh, and it may increase here. Big washout, split rather, for Ron Scheucher. He took the head pin out of there, but he's got 3 on the right side and the 7-pin isolated over on the left.
Very makeable, though. Just got to get to the right of the 3-pin, shoot it over into the 7, and you're going to make the 6-10.
And he's not. Oh! I'd ripped him off.
Big
that pin
break.
came back. Came out of the pits and knocked it over. Watch it and see what happens.
Yeah, sometimes the bowling gods are generous. Watch this 3-pin. It's going to go behind the 7. That's a miss. However, out of the back, into the gutter, and the head of the pin just nicks the bottom of the 7-pin. Thank you very much. That's high Brooklyn.
On a crossover. Leaves the 6. Ron Scheucher in our show last year involved one of the more memorable games. He shot 258 to beat Brian Burgess of Fond du Lac, who shot 256, and that sent him on to the next round, where he eventually lost to Lenny Boris Jr., who eventually lost to Jack Miller, who eventually lost to Gary Schmidt, who won our championship last year. Gary not back in the show this year. Neither is Jamie Brandemule, the women's winner from last year. And we were saying last week that a lot of newcomers this year. But we do have a few familiar names. And when we get a moment, we'll mention some of them. But a lot of guys who've been on the show many, many, many times missing this year. Gary Darashevsky, Dale Traver,
Jace Peterson, Gus Yanneris, Daryl Mizell, and Don Cook.
Another single pin miss by Ron Scheucher. Those hurt, especially in a one-game match.
Yeah, this is coming down to a match that may be lost by Ron as opposed to being won by Jerry here. I mean, Ron makes a great shot here. Gets a little lucky break, but he makes the 3, 6, 7, 10. But he's missed 2 single pins.
So he has 101 in the 6th. Ron Scheucher does. And his opponent, Jerry Bratz, with the lead, trying to extend it here. He'd have 118 in the 6th with a strike.
Boy, nice shot.
Go, Bratzy, go. That's saying so. I want to remind you that each and every Sunday, the Red Carpet Lanes gives out additional prize money. That's in addition to what the tournament itself pays. Oh, I don't believe it.
You gotta be kidding me.
Talk about a tough break. That thing was spinning like a top.
I think it went around about 4 or 5 times without
Was
going
that the
down.
5 pin? It just spun around and spun around. Let's watch it. This is amazing.
Call this the paralyzer sometimes. Get that light mixer 5 pin, you hit it, but another pin kind of stops it, spins around and doesn't go down. Ouch. Man.
Well, it's gone down now, but Ron would have liked it to come down with its friends. Give him a strike and a chance to overcome the deficit he faces. Red Carpet gives out $50 for each win on the show, $25 consolation prize. If a bowler doesn't win a game, $300 for a perfect game, $200 for a $299 game, $100 for a $298 game, and for the ladies only, $100 for a $279 game. Been a few years since we had a perfect game on Bowling with the Champs. Maybe this season. 4-pin lead for Jerry Bratz.
It's Jerry's second 4-pin on that lane, and he really could have put it to Ron Scheucher with one there, and he knew it the way he was running it out. Got a 17-pin lead, but that could have stretched it to 27.
The tournament today pays $200 to the 4th place winner, $250 to 3rd place, $300 to the 2nd place, and of course the winner, we don't know how much he'll get because he can go all the way on to the championship and win $5,000.
And got it. That was a ball change by Ron Scheucher too. He switched balls.
And look at Ron's mom. She's laughing. She likes that. You know, that time looked like he was going to have a pin. That time it did go down, in contrast to the previous frame where the 5-pin would not.
The old trip 2-pin.
Jerry Bratz making his spare. So the difference is 17 pins. Am I right there?
Yep.
17.
Ron's got that lucky strike working over if he can jump on that. Kind of interesting that he switched balls there because I don't think his problem has been so much hitting the pocket. He's just hasn't got a lot of carry, but he's missed a couple spares.
Yeah, he missed a, what was it, a 4-pin, and then he missed
the 10-pin.
A 10-pin, right. 9th frame. Jerry Bratz trying to build something going into the 10th. He hits a Brooklyn.
And he needed that to keep control of his destiny. If he wouldn't have struck there, Ron could have got up and struck out and won the match. As it is now, we'll see here. We'll watch the 2-pin trip by Ron. Last shot. Just roll around and nick it.
Yeah, there's a pin spinning in front of it right behind the sweeper there and knocks it down. Ron needs a strike here.
That's back to the other ball.
Leaves one in the back. The 9-pin.
Well, he got one he shouldn't have had, and then there he probably didn't get one he should have had. That was a pretty good shot. Trip the 4 and leave a 9-pin.
David Marlowe shakes his head.
And now Ron's pretty much at the mercy of Jerry. Even if Ron can find a way to strike out in the 10th, Jerry is only going to need a mark. Best possible, Ron Scheucher, 191. Jerry Bratz just needs a mark here, and he's in the high 190s.
In the 10th frame, in every game on the show this year, if bowlers strike out in the 10th frame, they get into a drawing $500 gift certificate from TMG, one of our sponsors. Jerry's online to do that. Got the first one.
And that locked up the match, too.
Jerry's won it. Put that one in the 1-3 pocket. Ron kicks out a strike there. 8-pin didn't want to go down initially.
A lot of this is what we said when we opened up here, that carry is the key here at Red Carpet Celebrity. And a lot of guys can find the right way to hit the pocket, but it's when you get there to knock out those 10 pins, 9 pins.
Well, Jerry with the first two. Ron trying to keep pace. It's all academic now, but Ron could get in the drawing, too. Take something extra away from Bowling with a Chance, maybe. No. Hooked up high on him.
We saw a left-hander, John Bodish, lose last week despite the fact that he probably had the best shot and threw a better game. Just didn't have any carry.
And he had a similar thing happen against him that Ron did here. As Jerry strikes out, his opponent had a couple of big crossover hits. Jerry had that big one in the ninth. So 218 to 181. Our winner is Jerry Bratz. He moves on. We'll move on after this commercial break. Bratz from Oshkosh advanced over Ron Scheucher of Greenfield, 218 to 181. In the second game, Bill Smith from Schaumburg, Illinois, defeated Jerry Bratz of Oshkosh, 182 to 171. And then he went on, filled it to take on Mark Klysmith of Stevens Point. Mark won at 215 to 169, so Mark advances to the next round on Bowling with the Champs. Gloria Bear, representing the Red Carpet Lanes here, has some prize money for our bowlers. So do I. Gloria?
Ron, $25 from Red Carpet Lanes, and I hope you'll be back next year.
Thank you very much.
And for Ron, we have a check for fourth place, $200. And Ron, last year you were shooting some big numbers out here in the show. You shot a 258, I remember. Not the results you wanted in game one here today.
No, it was a little bit early in the season. I didn't get the breaks I wanted, but I did okay. I'm back. I'm $250 richer, so can't complain.
Lanes looked a little squirrely, maybe, huh?
Yeah, a little wet dry, and my ball speed wasn't real good today. Wasn't too sharp. I did all I could.
Okay. Anything you want to say before we leave here this morning?
Well, the show's over early this year, but I got next year to look forward to, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ron. And Gloria with some money for Jerry.
Jerry.